Aspen University, CJ493, Security Systems, Procedures, and Developments. I'm Andre Rosedale. I'm the instructor for this course. Module 2, discussion question number 2 is, if you had the authority, what steps would you take to secure America's digital infrastructure? That's going to come down to all the money in the world. You're going to have to pay hackers to, you're going to have to pay 2 teams of hackers basically and add to them as people get smarter. I think you would have to get a team of hackers to build a firewall to secure the digital infrastructure, and then you would have to get another team to just sit there and crack away at it until they get through the wall, and then have them rebuild and back and forth. And you're going to have to pay them more money than anybody else is going to in order to stop them from going elsewhere. In the military, when I was assigned to the 82nd Airborne, we would go to Fort Polk, Louisiana. The 82nd Airborne is stationed at Fort Bragg, North Carolina, if you're not familiar. And we would go to Fort Polk, Louisiana, which now has part of the 10th Mountain Division, but at the time it had just an opposition force, or an OP4, and they were American soldiers. They were infantry like us, but they were assigned to this unit to learn the ways of, at the time it was the Cold War, and just slightly after Desert Storm, but they would fly Russian helicopters, they would drive Russian tanks, they would carry Russian weapons, and they would do Russian tactics, Soviet tactics. And it was actually after the Cold War, but we still use those tactics. And we would learn how to fight them and fight their grounds, and they would counterattack and that kind of thing. So that's just kind of what we'd have to do. You have to build the 2 teams to kind of go at each other technologically, and you'd have to pay them lots of money to keep their interest and keep their loyalty. Let me know what you think.